Oh, Kathy, I'm so glad to see you. Happy belated birthday. Can you hear me? Yeah? Okay, good.
Thank you.
Ah,
Hi.
yes, I can hear you.
Awesome. Hi. Is it Aja? Is that how you say it? Aja. Hi, welcome. Hi,
Hello, thank you.
Joycelyn. Hi,
Hi.
Rita.
Hi.
Awesome. Good. It looks like we got a good group here. I'm so excited. So I'm just going to kind of give people a couple minutes to get in, but while I was getting ready for this, I was feeling like um, we all do with our first photo booth event, or like when you haven't done a photo booth event in a while and you're like, oh my gosh, did I remember everything? Have I forgotten? Well, everything is going to go terribly wrong and I'm not going to know what it is until I get there. And
Mhm.
anyway, so I'm glad to see some friendly faces.
Awesome.
So glad to see you guys. Um, so I'm just gonna have like just wait, we'll just wait a couple minutes, but put in, hang on a second, I get to little my notes. Um, if you haven't already, maybe grab a pen and something to write on so that you can take some notes. And I don't like talking to myself, so I'm gonna be asking questions and making you guys interact with me and come off mute and type in the chat and all that good stuff. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, awesome. So everybody got a pen. Um, I am so glad you guys are all here. It's summer, it's hot. If you put dead in the chat, if you are like if your August just is dead, like it is so typical in the photo booth industry right now. I don't know if it's like these events are inside, but nobody wants to do anything in August. Dead, 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 dead. Yes. If you're not,
Sorry.
that's amazing. Um, yes, dead. Okay. That is totally normal. The thing that's awesome about this is because what you're going to learn today is going to be something that you can spend your August working on and figuring out and doing so that you can hit the fall running hard um and be, good to go for the fall. Um so somewhat dead, some dead. Hang on a second. I'm gonna move the chat so I can actually see Ray's comments coming in. Okay, cool. Um so first things first, um yeah, like I said, grab a pen, take some notes. Um, what I'm gonna do, what my promise to you is so for the next 90 minutes, I'm gonna show you the exact like three-part system that I use to grow my photo booth business to 10K months, which is six figures a year. Like, I don't know about you, but 10K months sounds a lot easier to digest than the idea or thought that I would be making like six figures. Um, but it's totally doable. Three quick things before we dive in. Number one, stay to the end because I have something for you that's really cool and you can totally use it in your business and replicate it and take it away and steal it from me. Two, put your city and and or state if it's a kind of obscure city that nobody really knows. Put it in the chat so we can see where everybody is coming from. Texas, Vegas, Miami. Oh, Miami. Hang on. Now let me go back to Miami here. Who's in Miami? Who was that? Maria.
Hey, how
Hey,
are you?
I'm good. Hey, did you hear about the Photo Booth Live event that we're doing in Orlando in a couple
I'm
weeks?
going.
Oh, good,
I'm
good.
going.
Yay.
Are you still selling props?
Yes, I sold the prop business earlier this
Okay,
year.
not to interrupt your. Okay, but you remember
Yes.
me, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Oh, we got everybody from everywhere. New Jersey. Hi, Cheryl and Rita. Yeah, obvious. Rita in Milwaukee, Seattle. Oh, Carrie, I didn't see you on here. You must be muted. Um, Massachusetts. Um, Nina. Is it Nina or Nina? Ontario, Temecula.
Nina.
Oh, wow. Lots of people from California.
Nina from DMV. Hey, everyone.
Hi. Alex is in the same
Good
area. Oh,
afternoon, everyone. This
oh,
is
hi.
Cooper from Hinesville, Georgia.
Hi,
Hi, Shaquana.
Shaquana.
Hi.
Vegas. Gosh, you guys should all connect. We got some great people on here all over the place, from all over the place, and there's people in all your areas. That's amazing. That's awesome. So, so we introduced ourselves. I'm Julie. I just so you know who you're talking to, a lot of you know me, a lot more of you probably don't. So I've been in the photo booth industry for about 11 years. I'm a former teacher and I had gotten married, I had a baby, I had no interest in teaching anymore, and I kind of run across the idea of a photo booth business that I heard on XM radio. And so I was intrigued. I'm like it seemed like a very small like buy-in for a business. And all the things that I'm teaching you today, I did not do. I was a terrible, terrible business person. I've had businesses my entire life, but um, nothing. Oh, cool. Who was that? Okay, Leora is a teacher. Oh, PE teacher, awesome. ST, who's ST? Teacher, started a high school. Okay, Sean, awesome. Very cool, guys. Yeah, I had a great teaching job and then I got stuck moving having to move to public school, hated every second of it, lasted barely a year and didn't want little kids touching me anymore. So that's how we ended up in this area. Anyway, so I started my photo booth business out of LA. It was very busy. I had now, as my business was getting really busy, I now had two little kids. I didn't have the time to set up a CRM, although I needed one. I did everything from a notebook and post-its and notes on my phone. And I was a horrible, horrible, like I was not organized. I waited for the phone to ring. I answered their questions and I hung up the phone. I didn't collect leads. I didn't do any of the things that I'm going to be teaching you about today. So, and I shouldn't say this, but and I still built that business to six figures. Then I went on to build my prop business to over six figures, and now I'm doing the same with coaching in the photo booth space. So I'm like a serial entrepreneur. I've been building businesses since, I mean, I was selling my toys to my siblings when I was a kid. So, um, but I am like, I have learned so many things in business throughout the decades. And I'm not special. I've just kind of figured out what works, and I want to give that to you today. So, um, am I sharing my am I sharing my screen? Oh, I'm not even sharing my screen right now. Oh my gosh. Okay, hang on a second. Let's get let's get my screen shared. There we go. You guys can see the screen, right? Okay, now I gotta get forward in. Okay, so here's my promise. I already said that. Three quick things. I said that. Okay. You guys were so nice and patient with me. All right, here we go. I already told you a little about me. Okay. So tell me if this is you. You are booked, but you're still not making the money that you want. And or you're working nonstop and you're doing all the things, you're kind of guessing, you're ready to grow on purpose, not by accident. If any of that stuff is landing, tell me in the chat. Is that you? Say, that's me. Anyone? Okay, now I gotta find my chat again. Okay, cool, cool, cool. Yes. Okay, good. You guys are with me. Awesome. Um, so here is the truth. Um, you are not stuck because you're not working hard enough. You are working plenty hard. You're stuck because you've been running your business like a booth operator instead of a CEO. And here's why that matters. Like hustle has a ceiling, right? There's only one of you. You only have so much energy. You have only so much time in a day. And especially if you're not um you don't have a team or you're stuck in the place that you are and you can't have a team because you are doing everything and you're not charging enough. There's a ceiling to that. But if you have a system doesn't have a ceiling. And so I am all about how many guys are on this call? I want to see here. How many guys do we have here today? Mostly women. I do not want to. Okay, good. Not against any of the guys at all. But before I say that, before I say this, I'm like, I am so passionate about women, especially automating their lives and their businesses so that they have time for the things that are most important to them, right? Like, as women, we have so many roles, like taking care of kids, taking care of aging parents, maybe having other jobs, having other responsibilities, having other passions. And unless we have a system built around this aspect of our business and even other aspects of our lives, we're going to always feel like we're hustling, and at some point we're going to drop dead of exhaustion. So, here is what I teach. Everything that I teach comes down to 3 pillars. So the first one is lead generation. So that's getting the right people to find you on repeat. And we're going to go into that a little bit more. Sales conversion, that's actually turning those leads into booked events through conversations, through building connections, through being able to close the sale. And then CEO execution. This is the fancy sounding one. This is running your business like a real business instead of like a hustle. So if you master these 3, you're going to start having these 10K months and not feeling like that was just a fluke, that was just luck. That's going to actually become math. Okay? All right. So here is why most photo booth owners get stuck. It's because they're only working one hustle. Tell me if this is you. Um, you, so let's say, like some people only post on social media and they just wait for the leads to come in. They just answer the phone and they give their booth, their rate, and the person ghosts them, and then that's it. They are doing everything in their business is running in their head. Does anybody have any of that stuff going on? If you do, tell me so I know that I'm not the only one. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, good, good, good. Sales is my weakness. Okay, awesome. Jenny. Okay, good. So there's not a boy on here. Just kidding. The guys are fine. I had actually had a lot of guys register, but there's nobody on here. But that's okay. So you do all this work and then you just kind of wonder, like, why does everything feel so hard? So 6 figures happens when all 3 of these pillars are working together. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through each one of them. So the first one, and I have tried to time this workshop and it's supposed to be about 90 minutes, but it might be a little short. So, I'm sure, and then I'll give you guys extra time for questions. So pillar 1 is lead generation. This is about getting the right leads in on repeat so you're never scrambling. Okay? And we're going to talk about how you do that. So this is what it sounds like. You're doing all the things, you're posting, you have a website, you keep going back and working on your website, but you don't actually know where these leads are coming from. You don't know how they're finding you. And it's kind of feast or famine. Like one month you're slammed, the next month you're just staring at an empty calendar and you're not really sure where, they're coming from and how to repeat that, right? So there's 3 ways to bring leads in. The first is attraction. So this is about becoming the obvious choice. So the right clients can find you and they want you before you ever say a word. So it's more than posting online. This is your reputation. This is your reviews, your word of mouth. It's about being known for something specific instead of just being like another booth. Because what separates you from another booth other than price if they don't see you as anything different, right? So it's about being easy to find, a Google profile with reviews, being listed in places that couples are actually searching. like having, even if they're free accounts on the Wedding Wire, on the Knot, on all the places where people are looking, they see you in more places, they're going to remember who you are. So think of attraction as your magnet. This is what is actually bringing the people to you. So, you might decide, think about like what it is that you want to be known for. Like not just the photo booth. Maybe you're the glam booth for weddings, or you're the fun open air booth at corporate parties, or maybe you're the one that has all the really cool props. You take pictures everywhere of all the things that you do. That was another thing I never did. And so I never had any content because I never took any pictures of anything that I was doing. I'm sure you guys are way smarter than I am or was at that point. So, ask your clients for reviews, and even, like go to your last, most recent events that you've done and go back and ask if they would be willing to leave you a review and make it as easy as possible for them. Okay. And the next way for lead generation is outreach. Tell me if you do any outreach. Anyone? Let's see. It's okay. So no one has answered this question yet. Okay, Toyoko DJ. Yes. Okay. Good. All right. This is good. Now, are we talking like reaching out to one person? Are we talking about groups of people? Like, who are you reaching out to? The chamber, DJs. Okay, good. Planners and venues, awesome. Networking. Yeah, this is all awesome. DMing corporate clients, emailing hotels, great. Awesome. Wedding venues, wineries, love it. Okay, good. Oh, you guys are so smart. Okay, so honestly, almost, oh, I shouldn't say almost nobody. This is the part of lead generation that so many people do not do. And it works because not a lot of people are doing it, right? You can call a venue and be like, hey, I'd like to be on your preferred vendor list. Well, number one, they don't know you from Adam. They've never seen your work. Most of them want to see your work before they're going to do something like that. But you could be building relationships with these people. Go in, ask to take a tour, make a connection with the event planner person, their marketing department, somebody, just finding out who, they are, what it is that they do. So like a lot of the things that you guys said, building relationships with planners, DJs, photographers, caterers, all the people, think about all the people in the event industry who are being asked for, like, oh, I need a photo booth. Do you know anybody that has a photo booth? Pitching corporate offices, public, like event organizers, like DMCs. I'm going to show you a tool in a second. And so we'll talk about that in a second, but asking your past clients for referrals on purpose, not just hoping that they're going to um, just offer them up. Okay. So think about one venue that you could go reach out to this week. Just introduce yourself, drop off some cards, ask if they do open houses, if they do, if they need a stylized shoot in their space, ask to be on the preferred vendor list. Just ask them questions, do things, see what you can drum up as far as, like rapport with them, building rapport, and do it more like with a giving heart. Like, what can you do to help them, to make things easier for them? Okay. And then the third one is visibility. So being seen. So you are the name that people remember. So part of that is being up online, having a steady rhythm so that your feed is alive when somebody checks you out. How many of you go online, you check to see when the last time the person posted, and if it's like a month or more, I'm kind of like, whatever, they're not active, and you don't know, right? And so I'm just going to move on to somebody else. And maybe they're just as terrible as I am at going on social media. You don't really know. So don't be that person. Don't be the person that they skip over. showing up in person, going to bridal shows. They're all bridal shows are not super expensive. Some, a lot of them are, but one of my clients had actually gave the rest of us this idea of going to calling different venues, especially new venues, and seeing, do you guys have any open houses? And typically they're not charging for those. They just want to bring couples to check out their venue. And so the more vendors that they can have there, it's going to make them look better. And going to vendor mixers, going to networking groups. And this doesn't just have to be the chamber. Think of things like, what are things that you're passionate about? Things like, is it about dogs? Is it about, babies? Is it like, think of anything like just with women, anything where you can make a connection with other people. Everybody throws parties, right? So it doesn't have to be an event networking thing. It could be you just being involved in your community and doing things where you can, people can get to know you and the kind of, and then even if these people are half strangers, like you kind of met them a few times, but the gal that just met you this afternoon and then her friend says, I'm having a baby shower. I thought I would do a photo booth. And she's being like, oh, I just met somebody today that has a photo booth. Let me find you her name. Like you never know where you're going to find these people. So the more that you are out with the people, the more chances that you are going to be the person that they're remembering. And visibility is the one that compounds the most over time. So kind of in review of this one, post regularly so your feed looks alive. I'm going to tell you how in a little bit. But we'll talk about that. But, show up, be in person, go to mixers, go to networking events, go get involved in the community and just stay in touch with vendors that you've met. Many of you might know Jamie Cobb. Every time she does an event, she tags every single person that she worked with. The venue, the florist, the DJ, the planner, everyone that she could possibly think of, and thanks them, and she posts them and she tags them, and then they're tagging her, and it's just like this love that just keeps growing, and send them a thank you note, offer to take them to meet for coffee or something like that, and just build those relationships. My very first bridal show that I paid for to go, and I was brand new. I paid $750. I did not have and did this bridal show. My set up looked amazing. There was probably, including partners, 100 people that came in through this bridal show. It was horrible. And I got maybe 5 leads. I don't even know if one of them even turned into a booking. So I was like, I cannot let this opportunity go. Like, I need to make sure that this amount of money that I spent does something for me. So I ran around and I met all of the vendors. I met 2 planners that day that I ended up working with for years after that. So they hired me every time that there was a wedding, a bar mitzvah, any event. And so I made sure I made my money back, just by having those connections with them. And so just think about how else what you can do for other people that's going to make you think about them. Okay. Okay. So this is what we're going to do. I'm going to give you, this is part of what I'm going to give you at the end. So what we're going to do, and I do this, some of the gals on the call are my clients and they've seen me do this. And so we're going to do it together. So we're going to go into Claude. Claude's my buddy. If you prefer ChatGPT, you feel free to use him for yourself. But I found that Claude isn't as argumentative as ChatGPT has been lately. So let me pull this up so you can see this. So this is a prompt, and I'm going to give this to you. Okay, first person that puts their city in the thing again, I'm going to use theirs. Come on, Temecula. Okay. Oh, Aja, that's an easy one because you're in LA. All right, let's see. Okay, I run a business. Can you guys see my chat screen? Okay, so Temecula, California. And I said, search for some real upcoming public events in the next 3 to 6 months where a photo booth would be a good fit. Festivals, fairs, markets, galas, fundraisers, corporate and networking events, blah, 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 right? In and around I'm going to say it again. Temecula. And I might even say, and the surrounding area, because you've got LA, you've got Orange County, all the Inland Empire, all that. Okay. So then I say, give this to me in a spreadsheet so that I can easily paste this into Google Sheets with these columns. So give me the event name, date, venue, event type, who to contact, blah, 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 blah. In fact, I'm going to say website and type. And then I do this too, I would like an outreach message and some follow-ups with the recommended time frame and how to send them. So we're going to pop this over here. He's going to think for a few minutes. But while we're doing that, I have, yeah, this is going to take him a few minutes. So I have something that I'm going to give you. Basically, I'm going to give you this, which is basically what I just gave you. You can literally go in here and copy the prompt. And then there's a couple other things that I'm going to give you at the end too. So, so that you have that. So don't feel like you have to write that down right now. Okay. So, while we're waiting for him, I call him, not it. People think I'm crazy. He's still thinking, but he's my buddy. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to my notes here. Oops, real quick. Okay. So while we're waiting for this to populate, you don't have to do all of these things, but if you think about the more things that you're doing to generate leads, the more leads that you're going to be getting, right? So if you are at the networking events, if you're out meeting people, if you're out talking to people, if you are posting online, if you're doing the things, if you're finding the events and talking to them, the more you do of that, the more incoming things you're going to get. So you don't have to do everything, but do something that works for you. Okay. I mean, everybody's in a different place in their lives with, kids, no kids, their, full-time job, maybe no job. Uh, like just do what works for you in your life. Oops, sorry. Okay, so let's go back and see how he's doing. Oh, he's still thinking. My goodness. Okay, well, he's thinking a few more minutes here. All right, I'm just going to move on and then we're going to, we'll come back as soon as he's ready. Just 1 second. All right, so, oops. All right, I told you that already. Okay, so pillar 2 is sales conversions. So this is taking those leads that you've got and turning them into actual bookings. And this is where most of the money is hiding for you guys, or some of you at least. So tell me if this is you. People ask for my price and then they just disappear. That's it. Does anybody have that? Yes. Okay. Good. Good. They ask for a discount. Yes. Okay. So my question to you is, what are you doing? Like, how many times are you, let's say they email you. You send them the price. Do you email them again? And if you do, how many times? Follow up twice. Okay, once, two, 3. Okay, so 8. Holy cow. Okay, this gal's a sales machine, Sean. Maybe 4, twice via email on their call. I think I got on their nerves. Did they book though? Come on, tell us they booked. Oh, they booked some. Okay, some of them book. Okay, cool. So statistically across business and sales, they say that like 5 to 7, like the most people are buying from you after like 7 touches, which I know feels so scary, right? And so this is kind of one thing I was talking with somebody yesterday. It was just like if that part of it feels scary, automate it. Have your messages automating. So the message is going out, they're getting it, but then you're taking away that emotional connection to it. Do you know what I mean? Where you're not feeling like, oh my gosh, they hate me. This is so embarrassing. They're rolling their eyes at me. Oh, now they've blocked me. So anyway, this is not a lead problem. This is a conversion problem, the sales leads. But let's go back into chat really quick. Oh, he's got it. Okay. I kind of wanted to show you this before I continued on. So what I want to do is I want to pull this up. Okay, so this is what he brought us. Okay, so here's some events in Temecula. We've got SoCal Chef Open in August. Well, that's coming up soon. That's a little soon, right? These, let's see if we can blow these up a little bit. So, okay, so you got the website, you've got the venue. It tells you what kind of thing it is. It tells you who to contact, email, phone. Some of this information isn't always uh accurate, and so I recommend going in and kind of checking. But we've got ribbon cutting, TVCC, I don't know what that is. Prosperity Conference, golf tournament, an auction, 20th annual Women in Business. That sounds awesome. Temecula wine thing. I mean, like, look at all of these events, you guys. If you
Wow.
had a list of, holy cow, 45 potential clients. These are not just companies that you're reaching out to. These are actual events. And
That's
if
really
you can
good.
target yourself to be able to tell them how a photo booth would work for their, this is gold, right? Aja, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm going to, hang on a second. Let me go back. I am going to put this in Google Drive. I'm going to share this with you because it has all your info on it. What's your email address, if you don't mind sharing it?
Not at all. Yes, thank you so much. It's Aja, AJAS Publix, and it's PUBLIX at Gmail.
Okay. I'm just gonna put anyone with a link, then that way it doesn't do the whole like she's requested and blah blah blah. So
Yeah,
there you go.
thank you so much.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna close out of that. So we'll go back to where we are. Anyway, but did you guys see? Oh, the other thing with that, hang on. What else Claude did on that is he had this outreach sequence. I'll send you this too. But basically, get on their radar, give them something useful. So the thing with corporate clients, you don't want to bug them every day, like the social event ones where you might bug them every 2, 3 days, right? These people are busy. I probably wouldn't do it more than once a week, once more than 5 or 6 days, something like. So we see day 0, day 4, day 10, day 18, day 28, day 60 kind of thing. But when you finish with them, you're not just going to get rid of them. These are your leads. You have a lead now. Like you're going to keep reaching out to them, and we'll keep talking about that. But and then there's an entire list of emails here too of what to say to them. So we're going to give this to Aja too. And you guys can all do the same exact thing that we just did with just doing the same search. Aja's Publix, right? Is that right?
Yes, good job.
Gmail.com.
Awesome.
Okie Oops.
Woohoo! Thank you.
Did it share? I don't think
That's
I
awesome.
did it. Okay. Okay, cool. So she got that. Okay, so that's one thing. That's pretty cool, right, guys? It's awesome. Oh,
Yes, it's
I think it's
amazing.
awesome. Okay. So, let me go back to where we were at. Okay. So people ask your price, they disappear, they've ghosted you, right? The dreaded ghost. So then you start discounting. It's like, well, I mean, I'll give you a cheaper price. Maybe they were just busy. Maybe their grandma died. You don't know why. I mean, they could possibly very well have the money, but they've just been busy, right? So this is just a conversion problem. It's not a lead problem. It's not a type of the people problem. It's a conversion, and conversion is a skill that you can learn, which is something else I'm going to teach you about today. So, um, oops. Okay, so there's three parts to this. So the first is connection. People buy from people, right? They're not buying your booth. They're not buying your equipment. They are buying from a person. If there was a person, I mean, I'm going to give you kind of a dumb example, but my daughter wanted Nerds gummies. Does anybody have kids that have these Nerds gummies? Okay. Nerds clusters. They had them at the really close convenience store down the street. And they're like, I don't know, $3 or $4, something that felt way too expensive for what this was. And I was like, and then she's like, no, Daddy got this at 7-Eleven. So I'm like, oh, okay, I'm going to go to 7-Eleven then. It was like a mile and a half down the road to save a buck, I guess. I get there, the price is posted, the cheaper price. I get there, I get up to the check stand, and the guy's like, no, that's not the right price. I was like, well, that's the price that's posted. That's what it says. And that's the price that I should be able to pay. The manager comes out, she makes a huge stink how somebody put it in the wrong price. I'm like, that's not really my concern. Like, I'm the customer here. Like, you need to honor this price because, like, that's only right, right? Anyway, she just keeps fighting with me. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not doing this. So I put him down. I left. I went back to the store and I paid more. And I was perfectly happy about it because those people were nice and they gave good customer service. And I would much prefer spending more money on somebody that's like that. And your prospects are doing the same with you. So you're the person that's easy to talk to. You're asking them questions. Um hang on a second. You're asking them questions. You're really building rapport because the more questions that you ask, the more uh what's the word? The more that you can offer them based on what they want. Like I would always lead off with like, "Oh, we have props and they're so great." And they're like, "We don't want props." Oh, okay, well then we don't have props. So I would just always assume I knew what they wanted and instead of asking questions. And so it's just like building that rapport, having that warmth. And we're going to actually practice that in a minute live. We're going to role play. And the other thing is speed is your secret weapon. The photo booth owner who replies within 5 minutes is going to beat out the person who replies the next day, even if that second one is cheaper. You are the one that has that opportunity to build that rapport with them. So even if they do meet the other person that's cheaper, it's like, but she was so nice. And oh, she told me everything, like that she could do for my wedding. And it felt like I was talking to a girlfriend. Like, be that person. And so this is another plug for, automation. Even if you can't personally respond right then, have an automation so that it can be like, thank you so much for reaching out to us. We're in an event right now or something. And like, we are so excited to talk to you about your event. We're going to get back to you. And then just get back to them as much as you can. If it means going to the bathroom at lunch, on your lunch hour at work. Yes, I do have recommendations on automations. And yes, yes, yes. I'll talk about that. If we have time, I'm going to talk about that too. I don't want to throw too many things at you guys, like, and make you be totally like overwhelmed. And I was trying to figure out a way to how to like bring that automation piece in without it being too like an entire other workshop. But yes, we will talk about that when we get to the end. And Yana, remind me if we don't, okay? So with communication, the this or with sales conversions, communication is like the big one. So you want to sell the transformation, not the equipment. When I first started, I was like, I've got this giant booth. It looks like a huge iPhone. It's so cool. It does this, it does that. They don't care. Like, they are not as impressed with this thing as you are. When you say things like mirror booth and you say salsa, they don't know what that means. Talk about the guests having a good time at your wedding, not being bored, having something to do while it's cocktail hour and you didn't want your husband to see your pictures before you guys got married. What are you doing with them? What is the vibe that you're bringing? Like, how is it going to complement the wedding? How is it going to bring the entertainment to the quinceañera or the sweet 16? So ask those questions of what you can do. And then when you do finally get to the number, the price feels worth it instead of scary. Okay. And then the other thing with that is when somebody calls, how much do you charge for a photo booth? How many people have gotten that? What's your price? And I would always say, like, let me ask you a few questions about your event. The things really, like differ depending on what it is that you want. And I want to make sure that I offer something or I give you a price that is going to make sense for you. And if they're not interested in that, they're just price shopping anyway. And then you're going to be painting the picture, like I said, about the line of the guests, about the photos they're going to be on their fridges for years, about the host that's going to look like a hero for having the photo booth there. And so when they are feeling the experience, the price stops feeling so scary and they realize that it's worth it. Okay. Um, and then the next one, is closing. So that's actually asking for the booking. Yes, ask what kind of experience you're looking for. Yeah, exactly. And it can be like, are you looking for like a luxury experience? And they're just like, I just need some entertainment for my guests. And then it's like, and her budget's like, say $600. Okay, well, maybe we just have a selfie booth, whatever. Like, that's all she wanted, is just something for them to do. Sometimes that's all that they need. So then with closing, it's actually asking for the booking. So, so many of you may send the quote and then just hope, and then you're checking your email, like refresh, refresh, refresh. Like, did they respond? Did they respond? And then like the whole next day, and you're just like, oh my gosh, do I write something now? Did they even get the mail? And like, I better check my spam. And you're just like doing this whole mental torture to yourself and not because you're not knowing, right? So make it easy for them. Ask the question, would you like me to lock in your date? Or I'll send you the contract. As soon as I get the deposit, it secures the date. How many of you feel like you just don't know what to say when you get to that point? You don't want to sound pushy. You don't want to make it sound like all you care about is the money, and then you just don't know how to ask, or you don't know what to say. Yeah. Okay, good. Yeah, totally. But the money is in that follow-up. So most bookings are lost either because nobody followed up and they never even were asked for the sale. And it's usually not because of the price. And then, so like I said, like having a simple follow-up system, again, automated. So if you don't hear back from them in a day or two, hey, still thinking about you, I'd love to be part of your event. Are you ready for me to lock in the date? Talking about things like, you know, talking about things like, I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. Like payment plans, or I have gotten in the habit of asking if they have a budget. Like, is there a budget? Is there a number you're trying to stay within so that we can make sure that we're within that. And you're not, and this is what, thanks, Carrie. You'll get a recording emailed to you in a couple hours. So I hope you liked this. Okay. But asking for like what they could use, because don't just, if her price is $200 less than yours, like don't just go down on the price. If you're going to give up something, she's got to give up something, right? Don't just lower the price just because she can't afford it. Okay. So what we're gonna do now is I would like a volunteer, someone who would be ready, willing to come off mute
I'll go.
and volunteer. Okay. Is it Leora? Is that how you say it?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, Leora, this is what we're gonna do. So we're going to um role play this. I'm gonna be the photo booth person. You're gonna be the bride. Okay? And
Okay.
we're going to go through a whole script. In fact, this is a script that I am giving you guys. And so I'm going to probably go off script, but it's just kind of to give you a little like something um to go by. But so I'm going to give you a second. Think about the wedding that you're planning and yeah, think about that. Okay. Okay, okay, okay. So now I'm going to call you, okay? Bling a bling a bling.
Hello.
Hi, is this Leora?
Yes, it is.
Hi, Leora. This is Julie with Pop Studios Photo Booth. How are you today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good. Hey, I wanted to say congratulations on your wedding that you have coming up.
Thanks.
Are you getting excited? Lots of planning in the works.
Yeah, getting excited, just stressful and budgets. It's like we're picking our vendors and everything's just adding up.
Yeah. Oh, I totally understand. It's a lot. And I'm sure at some point you're like, why didn't we just elope?
Yeah, every day.
Oh, so tell me about the wedding. Tell me about your vibe. Like what, like paint the picture for me of like how you want your wedding to look like.
So our wedding is going to be at Rancho Las Lomas venue. It's going to be in August, and it is an all outdoor wedding. We honestly just want a photo booth that our guests like. We think photo booths are just a fun thing to add into a wedding. And
Okay.
so, like, I haven't really looked, like, I don't really know anything else. We just know we want a photo booth, and we
Okay.
just are looking for pricing because we don't even know
Okay.
where to start.
Okay. Okay. That's great. That's good to know. What is the like do you have the timeline of the night yet? Like of your reception?
Yeah, we want somebody from 7 to 10.
Okay. Are you guys having are you doing pictures before after the ceremony? Are you having a cocktail hour or anything like that?
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, okay. So is it more like cocktail hour and then dinner and then like reception kind of photo booth? Is that kind of what you were thinking?
No, it's gonna be cocktail hour, and then ceremony, and then we go straight into
Oh, interesting. So
part.
it's all in the same location.
No.
I mean, well, the
I mean,
same
but,
venue.
like, yes, like same venue, but
Uh-huh.
different areas.
Okay, okay. That's awesome. That sounds beautiful. What are your colors?
Can you just tell me what packages you offer and our pricing?
Oh, she's hard. She's
Sometimes we get clients like that.
That's
Like,
good.
they're not always chatty, and so you really gotta I'm always kept on my toes.
Yeah, yeah. That's awesome. That she was gonna be nicer to me. Yes, of course. Yes, I don't want to take up any more of your time. Yeah. When you say I just want to make sure that I offer the right package for you based on what it is that you're looking for. You said that you wanted something fun, for your guests. Is this something that you're thinking of just like something that's fun or that you want like a really special keepsake for them? Do you want something? At the end of that experience because we have all sorts of different offerings and I just want to make sure that it's something that would fit for, for what it is that you're looking for.
So, what can I get for $1,000?
$1,000. Okay.
I think
So,
that's our kind of the budget that we're trying to aim for photo booths.
okay. So, yeah, we could do a lot. So, are you wanting prints?
Yes.
Okay. And do you want like a keepsake or something for afterwards with for you guys to keep. Like we have, for example, let me tell you a couple of the things that we have that are kind of fun. So no, we have like a physical scrapbook. And so, like we print an extra photo from each photo session. Your guests leave you a message in there. And then we present you with this beautiful memory book at the end. So it has a lot of those memories in there, those messages from them. Another one that we have is an audio guest book. And so where um, the guests leave you an audio message where they're which these can get really fun at the end of the night because, the more drinks that they've had, their lips are a little looser and they're having a good time. But you end up with this entire recording of all of like the well wishes to you and your new husband. And so that's kind of fun. Do either of those sound like something that would be nice, kind of a nice to include?
Yeah, they both sound so cool, but I think we kind of just want to stick with regular prints.
Okay. Okay.
I think we were thinking of like like just a regular photo, like a normal 4x6
Okay.
print.
Okay. And you're thinking for the 3 hours. Okay. One more thing I wanted to offer, just as an idea, is I okay, so first okay, back up. All right. So I would recommend our traditional photo booth. It's, printed with it's a DSLR camera, so it has the best quality. We print on a lab quality printer, and so the pictures look really nice. We have beautiful backdrops that you can choose depending on like what your wedding colors are. You can choose one of those. Um, but we also have what I like to offer is like an add-on digital photo booth. So, for example, like we could have it set up during cocktail hour. It's all digital. It's something to kind of keep them busy while you guys are getting ready for the wedding. It's something that, when the ceremony's over, if the cocktail hour, if the location changes, is it something that we can kind of put on the dance floor so that there's really like two experiences for them. Our our traditional photo booth is, I'm just gonna pick some numbers, guys, so I can stay within her budget here. So it's normally like $795 for the photo booth. And then normally we do this add-on for 300 for the digital booth. But since you said your budget was 1,000, I would be willing to go down on that add-on booth since I'm going to be there anyway, and I could set that one up, like I said, at the cocktail hour and then move it to the dance floor. How does that sound?
Yeah, that sounds good.
You like that? Okay. Yeah. Is there anything else that you're thinking of that maybe we didn't talk about?
No, I think that sounds great. I just want to talk to my fiance about the
Okay.
pricing and I'll get back to you.
Okay. So we if you have any if there's any questions that come up for him, like don't hesitate to reach out. Like I can, hop back on the phone with both of you guys. Like maybe he has different ideas, like maybe that he hasn't mentioned, and I'm happy to go through all of those with them. Um, but I just want to make sure that like the end of like your date in August, we are getting other inquiries for it, and so we would love to be there. But in order to secure your day, we would just need a deposit to hold the date, and um, and we also take payments as well. So if there's, you don't have to come up with $1,000 right up front. You can do payments up until that time. It's just the final payment is due 30 days before the wedding. Okay?
Okay. Okay, sounds great.
Okay, so if I don't hear back from you in a couple days, would you like me to reach back out?
I'll reach out when I'm ready.
Okay. Okay, well, it was so nice talking to you.
Okay, thank you so much, Julia. I appreciate
Okay.
it.
All right, have a good day. Bye.
I just
Oh,
had to do
she
that
was
because not all sales calls are easy. Sometimes clients are they that's how they treat you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, thank you. I feel like I need So, this is, yeah. So basically, I kind of have this in here, right? Like, if you guys look at this, where it's like having a friendly opening, like, lead with connection. Um, that's awesome, Leslie. She had a lead disappear, did a final follow-up, and she ended up booking. That's amazing. Kind of try to explore the vision, confirm logistics, talk about the budget last. She kind of made me cut to the chase, right? um, Connect their vision with the offer, invite her to book. Um, and then I have a whole section here for overcoming objections, like just ways, I totally understand. I get that it's a big investment, reaffirm like kind of like the vision that she had, anchor in the value, and then just offer a thoughtful pivot, empower her decision. I mean, obviously, I do not like to do like a hard sell at all, but I feel like I should at least try a few things, just to see if I could get her to budge before letting her off the phone, or just inviting that, follow-up message for her. And then, and then I have some inquiry emails and stuff like that in here. Okay.
I have a quick
So,
question. I know you're on a time crunch, but I've heard mixed things about giving pricing on the phone versus not giving it on the phone and just being like, all right, I'm going to email you the quotes.
oh, really?
What's your take on that?
I personally feel like for a wedding, the more, and the thing is that's going to come with experience, but like the more weddings that you do, you're going to know, like, for example, like I always go extra early to a wedding because you never know what you're going to get when you get there. If you're going to be able to park, if you're going to have to park a mile away and you're going to have to walk, if you are going to be set up outside and you're going to be sweating to death and you got to go change, like all the setup, stuff like that. So I always typically went a little higher on weddings than other social events because I know that there was going to be so much more time involved. But I feel like asking a lot of those questions on the call, you can kind of figure that out as far as like the pricing. So I would, unless it was really complicated, if they were like, well, we want to have this and we want to have that, and it's not something where you feel like you could confidently give the price without like hating yourself after because you like totally forgot about this one thing. I think most of the time you could. Now, having said that, corporate is a complete different ballgame because you don't know. You don't know, all of the things that are entailed of all the things that they want. I had like my very first corporate event, big corporate event that I did. I didn't have a clue what to charge. I was going to charge them like 3 grand and it was going to be over the course of 2 or 3 days. But I was new and I was like, oh, $3,000. That sounds good. Yeah, let's do that. But I was smart enough to ask what her budget was. And she told me her budget was 10. And, oops, hang on a second. That's okay, Dakasa. You're fine. This is all gonna be recorded. You're gonna be awesome. You're gonna get everything that you missed. So she told me her budget was $10,000. That totally changed my mindset. So I was like, okay, great. I am going to work up a quote for you and get back to you. So for corporate, I would always do a quote. You better believe that I figured out a way to spend every penny of that 10 grand, right? I came in at like 93 something so that I would come in under, because they're getting other quotes. I mean, I had ropes and stanchions. I bought 6 boxes of media and we only went through 100 photos. So those 6 boxes of media lasted me for a while. So that was pretty awesome. But so does that answer your question as far as like kind of anytime that you feel like, I don't know if I can give her the right answer, I would just be like, let me actually give you a call back. So you don't necessarily have to have one or the other. Maybe just sort of, if you feel like you might accidentally give them too cheap of a price, give yourself a little time to think about it.
Cool, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so all right, so we did that. All right, so let me go back to my notes here. Okay, um so here's the takeaway. Like just by changing the conversation and changing the follow-up, you're going to increase your bookings. Maybe you'll double them, maybe you'll triple them, maybe you'll, just start getting some more consistently because you're not just hoping that they're going to come back to you, that they're going to follow up. You're the person in the driver's seat, right? Um, and so, like a CEO who's built a sales process instead of kind of winging it, now you've got the leads, you've got the bookings, but now if everything lives in your head, you're going to burn out before you ever hit six figures. And that is pillar 3 that we're going to go into now. And this is what we're going to talk about automation stuff. So, pillar 3 is CEO execution. So, this is running your business like a real business and not a hustle. Okay. So, this is the pillar that makes six figures repeat instead of having just like one lucky month. Okay. Um, so here's the pain. I'm busy all the time. I'm not moving forward. Everything depends on me. I feel like it's a job. I'm burnt out. I just want to quit. I'm not really actually making any money. Does anybody feel like that? Yeah. Okay. Even if you're not telling me, I know some of you are feeling like that sometimes. Okay, Leslie. At least Leslie's honest with me. Okay. Okay, good. All right. So the first piece, oops. Sorry. Hang on, guys. I lost my spot here on my notes. I just want to make sure that we're on the right thing. Okay. So this first piece is systems. This is so it's not living all in your head. Yes, yes, Mitzi. She has a full-time job and kids. Yes, which is why you 100% need to automate this business more so that it isn't all stuck on you in your head, so that you can enjoy your time with your kids and not feel like, I mean, how many moms on here whose kids are always like, Mom, you're always on the phone? And it's like, I'm working, I'm actually playing with you and working, but being able to like set it down and, because you know that it's running for you. So, this is where having a CRM and some automations come in. So, having your follow-ups, your contracts, your invoicing, your day of event details, everything running automatically in the background so that you're not like, oh crap, I forgot to ask her what backdrop she want. Oh, she never got back to me with that template. Like just knowing, having all of this stuff so that it's not entirely relying on you. Because once you can get this out of your brain, you're going to be in the position where you can start to scale. And maybe you don't want to scale. Maybe you just want a little more time for yourself, but you're never going to be able to have a business that doesn't entirely rely on you unless you get some of that stuff out of your head and, out of your own memory because, the attendants can't read your mind. Nobody, and like what happens? Like you die, like all of a sudden it's like, oh, she just didn't show up to the event. I have no idea what happened. There's no backup plan. There's nothing, right? Um, so, um, let me scroll to my next thing. Okay, so then the next one, I'm going to save the actual automation conversation for the end here. Okay, and then the second one is numbers. And this is the one that I think so many people avoid. You have to know your numbers. Not like what you actually keep per event, not just what you charge. Because busy is not the same as profitable. So many photo booth owners are booked solid and still broke because they never actually look at the numbers. How many of you ever are like, yeah, but I don't want to look at the numbers because I know I'm probably too cheap and I'm afraid that if I actually know it, then that would not be a good thing. So if you tell me, say me, if you know exactly how much you are making from each event, type that in the chat. Okay, Alex. Maybe I'm going to have to put Alex into the hot seat. I think we're going to do that. Okay, Alex. If you are willing, would you be willing to come in the hot seat and talk about and me ask you questions about your numbers? Because this is something else I'm giving you guys.
Yes, sure.
Anyway. Oh, hello.
Hi.
Hi. Okay, so this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna show you back to this toolbox that I'm giving you guys. I have a cost calculator. So we're gonna go through here and we're gonna see if you actually know how much you should be charging per event, okay? And this is not to shame you or anything. Like this is like gonna be maybe eye-opening for you. You might be like an accountant and you know all of these things down to the penny, which is awesome. But for
Oh,
the
my
most of
God.
us, we usually don't.
Yeah, no, I'm interested to see if I do know my numbers.
Okay. So what would you say, let's just do like what would you say is like an average price per event that you have?
Okay, it really depends on the service the customer wants. So if they want a digital booth, my price range is 695, and that just includes the booth itself, the activation. Um, I do not include props, that's an add-on.
Okay.
I include a standard black, double-sided black or white backdrop,
Okay.
and that comes standard. Now, if they want to upgrade, then and they want a customized backdrop, then that's gonna be $175.
Okay.
Um, so
Okay.
that's for digital service.
Okay. Do you do DSLR or
Um,
print?
yes, I do prints. I
So
do,
tell me which one do you feel is the service that is the one where you're not as sure about? Like which one would you say, sometimes I kind of think maybe I should go up on this one? The digital or the print
to
one?
be honest and very transparent, my 360.
Okay, let's do the 360.
Yeah, my 360, it's like always a hit or miss because I feel like when I took a coaching course with Miss Reese, Coach Reese. Um
Okay.
and she operates Fun and Fabulous, I believe.
Oh, Sharon.
Sharon, yes.
Yes.
So Sharon, um when I took her course, the sweet spot was 250 an hour.
Okay.
Every time I quote people based on that, they always tell me, "Oh, that's very expensive." Um, they haggle me down. But when it comes to 360, it's a whole production, and that's
Right.
what people don't understand. Like this is like filming, video, you need lights, and it's a whole entire ball game. Like
Yeah.
ball game.
So, okay, so what would you, have you ever charged the 250 an hour for that one?
I have, and I get rebuttals. They end up telling me, "Oh, can you cut me a break?" I think in the 5 years that I've had my 360 machine, um, I've only taken it out two times, one for a quinceañera, and another one was for a free event because I was trying to land more events.
Okay.
I was
So
like,
let's just say how much did you charge for the quinceañera?
I charged an even $1,000.
All right, let's just go with that.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you have business insurance?
I do.
How much are you paying, would you say monthly for that?
I pay $43 a month.
Okay. Do you have to pay to have anything stored?
I have a storage unit. Yes, I do. And
Okay.
I pay $89 for that.
Okay. And then what's the software for the 360? And then do you need to pay like any music licensing software or anything like that?
I definitely tell them that I do not do music because that's like a whole licensing issue and I don't want to get in trouble or
Okay.
so they know that if they book me, they can add on the music themselves.
Okay.
I use Snappick.
Okay.
Um, so I pay about, I believe it's like the $49 one per event.
Oh, per event. Okay. So let's just say, okay. And then are you using a CRM?
I do use 17 hats
Okay, I
for
got to
the
get my
annual
actual calculator out here so I can, okay, so we've got $49 plus how much is 17 hats?
17 hats is annually 199. I have the
So
annual.
about like 20 bucks a month. I'll say $18 a month or so. Okay.
Mhm.
Are you using Canva?
Yes, I have an annual subscription to Canva, which I pay, I believe, 150 a month. 150
Oh,
for the year, for the year.
okay, so that's about like 12 bucks a month. Okay. Is anything other subscriptions or software monthly that you're paying for?
Those are pretty much it. My
Okay.
Canva, my 17 hats, um, and then I do have my company cell phone that
Okay.
I pay, I want to say $50 for the line.
Okay. What about internet? If you were to kind of, I mean,
Yeah,
not like if
my
you were to say like half your internet or a quarter or whatever.
um internet, I pay $40. I have Verizon.
Okay. And then any other like marketing tools? Like, do you have like Google, what's it called? Like Google Business Profile? Like, do you have to pay like the 8 or 10 bucks a month for your Gmail account, anything like
Well,
that?
actually, I haven't figured out how to do the whole Google stuff, the Google
Okay.
ads. I just this month actually started dabbling with Facebook ads.
Okay.
And I posted one campaign. My budget was $25, so I was just playing around with it, and I actually got 5 leads from it. They haven't
It's
hit,
amazing.
but 5 people did call, ask for quotes and things like that. And I also got one wonderful scammer
Of course.
that tried to scam me out of some money for this upcoming Saturday. So that was very interesting. And most of my equipment's paid off.
Okay, good. Okay. So, marketing tools are you paying for a Google email address? Like, or are you like at gmail.com?
At
Okay,
gmail.com.
okay. So no, okay, so is there any other costs that you pay every month, regardless if you have an event or not?
No,
Okay.
I was on Check Cherry, but that got pretty expensive when you don't have
Events.
events coming in. So I was like, oh, let
Okay.
me just go to the 17 hats, which is much cheaper for the year.
Okay. So how many events would you say you're averaging per month?
Right now, I'm actually getting back my groove. I just recently in April had brain surgery, so I've been out for like a few months now, 4 months. Um, so I'm starting to ramp up again, reaching out to venues, wedding planners, DJs, and telling them, hey, your girl's back. Um,
Awesome.
so right now, I would say since April, I've done 4 events, and I have 2 upcoming events with the local hospital that are
Okay.
fully booked and paid for. So I would say a total of 6 so far.
Okay. So like maybe two a month so far
Probably, yeah,
right
two a
now?
month.
Okay. Okay, so if we look at this, like your fixed cost per event based on your monthly costs, regardless if you have any events or not, is about 150 bucks.
Oh,
All right,
wow.
now we're going to talk about the depreciation of your equipment. So how much was your 360?
My 360 was $2,200.
Okay. And then I'm going to put in, do you have a printer?
I have a DMP 620A, which cost me 1,000.
Okay. And then backdrops and stands,
Oh my God, I have bins of those.
maybe 1,000, 1,500, 2,000. Like what do you think?
I would probably say close to about 2,500.
Okay. What
Yeah.
about props?
Oh, I love my girl, Alicia. So yeah, I have props. Oh man, probably about a good $1,000 in props.
Okay. Any extra lighting, other tech besides the booths and printers themselves?
Yes, I have extra lighting and I have backup to that extra lighting. So I want to say maybe about like 250.
Okay. And then like bags, transport, like stuff that may be replaced in some amount of time, whatever.
So I've been very lucky. I haven't needed to replace any cases and stuff.
Okay.
Um, so yeah, I'm
Okay. And
cautious.
so then this is kind of like an amortization type thing. So obviously everything's not going to last forever, right? Oh, you know what we didn't think about is camera.
Yes, I have two cameras, two Canon cameras. Each of them cost me $700.
Okay, so I'm gonna put that one right here. So 1750 for the two cameras and the whatever was 250.
Yeah.
Okay, so if we were to drag this out to the most amount of time, let's say for 4 years, basically your replacement cost on your equipment is like about 176 bucks a month.
Okay.
So imagining if you're setting that aside every month, when your camera breaks, you just go buy a new camera. No big deal,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
The iPad, the whatever, like I know somebody that the 360 arm broke and whatever. Okay, so now let's talk about consumable. And I know that a lot of these consumables aren't going to count for the
360.
360, but let's just keep doing it just so that we can
Of
kind of separate
course. Yeah,
out.
yeah.
So,
So
do you usually use more than one roll at an event, would you say?
actually, sometimes I don't even use the whole entire
Okay.
roll. I just some events are like the person planning it is like, "Oh yeah, I'm having 200 people." Like the wedding that I just did 2 weekends ago, it was a 200 person wedding and it was for 4 hours. So I was expecting to go through one entire roll because they were doing strips. Um and I actually started, my contract started, was supposed to have service start at 4, but then I was in the area where cocktail hour was. So the guests were coming up to me asking, "Oh, is the booth ready?" And I hate turning people away, even if it's not ready based on my contract. And I'm like, "Yeah, certainly, absolutely. Let's come on, let's take a picture." And I actually ended up giving them a free hour. Um,
Because you're already there.
Because I was already there, and then you never know. Like at a wedding, you can always land someone getting engaged, and they're like, "Oh, her service was amazing. I want to call her." So
Yeah,
I always
exactly.
I butter them up.
Totally. No, that's smart. Yeah. Okay, now forgive me for this. This line shouldn't even be in here. I don't even know why it says that. Claude did not do a very good job because we don't have ink and toner.
So with my paper, I get the case for 150.
Okay. So
When
I'm just gonna say 75 because that's an average. You know what I mean? Like every now and then you might will go over. It's great if you don't, whatever. Can you think of any other consumables?
my photo sleeves, I always give photo sleeves when I do 4x6 or even the 2x2s. I know that the 2x6 photo sleeves are 25. The box of 25 cost me 25 bucks. And then the 4x6 are about like 20 bucks for 50 on Amazon.
Okay, so should we just say like maybe $50? Then that way you cover them all. Okay, so your consumables per event are about 140. And then what would you say, like, so this is the 2026 cost per miles, which is about 76 cents a mile. So what would you say would be like an average round trip to an
So,
event?
so here in the DMV, I have a flat travel fee of 60 bucks. That's what I charge
Okay.
everyone. If I'm
Then
going
let's,
down to like Fredericksburg, Virginia, then I'll charge them 75.
okay, we'll just do that. We'll just put 60 bucks for travel.
Mhm.
And then if you were to pay yourself, how much would you be paying yourself? Like 20 bucks an hour, 25 bucks an hour, 100 bucks an hour? Like,
Well, I would pay myself what I pay my booth attendant, which would be 25 an hour.
okay. And then maybe an hour setup.
I always give myself an hour of buffer to any event that I do. I always get there an hour before, but I never charge the customer
Yeah.
the setup.
Okay. Well, I'm just thinking of your time. Okay, so then
Yeah.
travel time is probably another, well, would you say an hour or 2 hours round trip?
More about 45 minutes, but yeah, maybe an
Okay,
hour.
we'll put one. Okay. And then admin time, of all the time that you've been like talking into them on the phone, the emails back and forth, the templates, like
Yeah.
all of the time that you spend in admin work. How much time are you?
Um, I would say depending on the event, if it's like a wedding and she's a bridezilla, a good 8 hours. If it's like a simple birthday party, tops 4. I always give them 2 revisions with my templates that I design.
Okay.
Mm.
So I'm gonna just put like 6.
That's that's fair.
Okay,
All right,
here
show me
we
the money.
go.
Show me the money.
Oh, that's actually not even that. Oh
Ah,
no. Okay, so this is the cost.
okay.
So this is the cost to run, say, that $1,000 um uh
360 event. Okay.
360 event. So your profit is 261.
Okay.
Now, do you feel like I'm all right with that? Or do you feel like that was a crap load of work to come home making 250 bucks?
Definitely.
So, and again, this is not to, I mean, I'm glad that it came out under because when you had all of those costs, I was like, oh my gosh, this is going to be so
Yeah.
high. But this is so good for you to have, for all of you guys to have, so that you can kind of, like how Leora had mentioned, where it's like, how do I know? Do I give them the amount? And so the more you play with this, the more you'll kind of know what's the worst case scenario. If you go on a cruise, they are charging you for food, the absolute worst case scenario. Do you know what I mean? Because they want to make sure all the food's covered, all the things are covered. And so, it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, sometimes they don't use up all the media, which is fine. I had a 2-hour event and we went through 3 rolls of media. I don't even know how that was even possible, but it was like there was like 10 or 12 people in every shot, and the printer was just like printing the entire time. And
Yeah.
so it happened. So thinking more of like on the more usage rather than the less usage. So I hope that was good. I'm giving you guys all this. I
Awesome.
am giving you guys this, Yana. You guys are getting all of this. So you'll have this at the end. I promise. I'm just gonna put it in the chat right now.
And I
But
have to say, like, when I do, like, I had one event, it was the most awful experience ever. My printer jammed, and so I had the printer ended up eating up the ink ribbon. So I
uh,
had to open up a brand new one and stick it in. And I'm just like watching dollar signs like going in
yes.
the garbage because you can't really tape it up. It's not gonna work, you know? Um, so I always prepare for the worst. I always have a backup just in case something happens with my DMP printer, to have extra toner, extra paper and stuff. But yeah, it's I think I need to increase my price.
Yeah, which is good. It's good. I'm gonna figure out why that link isn't working, because it's working on mine, which is bizarre. Like that it came up. So I'll have to figure this out. But you guys will get this because you'll get it in an email. Everybody's gonna get the email like for the replay and then the all this stuff. So you will have it. I just want to keep moving because we only have 7 minutes left. So okay, so knowing your numbers, right? Obviously, we sort of went a little overkill on that one. So, the third aspect of like the CEO execution is scale. And that's kind of breaking this just me ceiling. So, training an attendant so that you're not the only one who can run the booth, bringing her in for admin. And I know it is such like a catch 22. It's like I can't hire the people until I have the events, but I can't have the events, these extra events, unless I hire someone. So even in the interim, just writing things down, just knowing your processes, having some like SOPs, go into ChatGPT or Claude and be like, this is me. I mean, he obviously knows who you are. I'm sure you use him. Just be like, this is what I do. This is the booth. This is, help me write an SOP. What questions do you need me to answer so that you can write this out? And then tweak it. Be like, no, I don't do that. Yes, I do that. This is the thing. This is not the thing. And so that you can be in a position where you could bring somebody in. So, but you really cannot hit. So, an SOP would be a standard operating procedure so that anyone could read it and follow it and do your job. Um, but you can't even run 2 booths at the same time with one person, right? You have to be able to bring in more people to be able to scale up. And scaling starts small. So even the best place to find attendance is stay-at-home moms, teenagers, like people who aren't looking for a replacement income, but that would love to have a little extra money every once in a while, you know? And those are awesome people. Teachers that don't even work in the summertime, you know. um So thinking about, oops, I didn't move on to this. Sorry, guys. Um, Getting to the place where you could hire a virtual assistant for inquiries or for admin or for posting for your social media, because um, I have a virtual assistant. She's in the Philippines. I pay her $7 an hour, and she's like happy as a clam. And so it's not like you're thinking you're having to spend 15, 20 bucks an hour to hire somebody. And with your social media, like you could just have a ton of content and be like, just keep making content for me. Like, how many pieces of content can I get for 5 hours a week, 10 hours a week, whatever? And just do it as you're able. Don't, and a lot of these you don't even have to like have a contract with. So that's another way, to like automate your life. Um, okay, so really quick, what I want you to do is think about your numbers. So let's say if your goal is to make $10,000 a month, like with Alex, her more expensive booth was $1,000. So that's 10 booths, that's 10 bookings a month. Does that feel realistic to you to be able to do 10 bookings a month?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
definitely going to be a hard
Yeah, it's a lot. But I mean, if you did,
doable.
let's just say you did 1,500 a month. I mean, that's like what, 7 events?
Mhm.
10,000 divided by, what did I say? 1,500? Yeah,
15.
that's 6 events. If you did, so think of it more like, well, again, could you do 5 events and someone else could do another 5 events? Like if you had that many events coming in that you could be doing that. So there's that, there's the charging more, there's the having add-ons that you can be doing. So say they book you for $1,000, but let's say a couple months later, you're like, we just got this audio guest book that's actually really cool. Oh, by the way, we're now offering keychains. Oh, we're doing this now. We're doing that now.
Exactly what I'm doing. I just got the keychain machine
Great. That's
and I'm
awesome.
introducing that to my corporate customer. Um, so yeah, I mean, I definitely do the add-ons, do the audio guest book, you know.
Yeah, that's great. And then the thing is like, let's say a bride books you for 9 months down the road. She paid $1,000 maybe at the beginning. Well, now you call her about an audio guest book for 250. Well, that's just 250. She's not thinking, oh, now I've paid 1250 for this booth. She's thinking, oh, it's just 250. Sure, let's do it. Oh, you want to upgrade to the 5x7 medium? Oh, it's just $100. Okay, sure, let's do it. And so the things like when I was with Leora, where I always offered that add-on iPad booth because it's easy. I don't have to manage it. I'm making extra money there, and I charged like 250 for it. I mean, it was just like it was the easiest thing. You just dump it in the corner, maybe move it once or twice. They're happy, and you just kind of upped your bottom line for that event. Okay, so oh, good. We're getting to the wrap up just because I don't like to keep people. So basically, lead generation and sales gets you to good months, right? And then the CEO execution is what makes them repeat. And so that's the difference between having like a lucky month and having like a real business. And the difference between being, a photo booth operator and an actual CEO of your business. So putting it all together, this is the whole system. The lead generation fills your calendar, right? The sales converts it. The CEO execution is what sustains it. So that is it. So that's how you can build a business. It's actually built not by working harder, but by building these 3 things on purpose. And it comes down to one choice. You can keep hustling like how you've been doing, doing a little bit, doing everything all at once and kind of hoping that it's going to grow, or strategically put yourself into that position of like a CEO of a real business and in deciding how you're going to work your business so that you can be making, that money. So from that point of on, yes, Yana, let me get to that in a second. Let me finish this and then I'm going to go to some of these questions. Edith's question and your question. So where do you go from here? You've got 2 paths. Either, especially the teacher on the call, right? We're good students, right? We can learn anything. we've always learned everything ourselves. We're the best student there is, you know, and you guys are all super intelligent, right? But it's like, how long do you want it to take to get to where you want it to be? So you can do the research, you can read the blogs, you can go in all the searches in the Facebook groups and, figure things out. It just takes longer. And sometimes it's just frustrating. It gets messy in the middle, and then you just kind of want to quit, right? Or you can, get a map, have somebody walk you through it, which is obviously a lot faster. And, you're going to have that follow through, you're going to have that accountability. And so, what I am offering you guys is I am opening my calendar to some like one-on-one game plan calls this week and next. And so we get on the call, we look inside your business, kind of like what me and Alex did, but I would be asking her more questions like about her business, like what's working, what's not, where does she see, these gaps, what her goals are, things like that. And so from this call, I'm sure you probably kind of have a feeling like where maybe your strengths are, maybe where your weaknesses are, but maybe you don't have a plan to fix it. And so what we'll do is like we would just kind of you would kind of leave knowing what your next step is. Whether or not we work together or not, it's totally fine. But if it feels like a fit, we'll kind of talk about that and how I can help you further. And so let me move. So basically, so this call, it's kind of for somebody who's like serious about growing now, not like someday in the future, but if you're ready to stop guessing and ready to start, building this thing, right? Um, so okay, here we go. Oops, sorry. My notes cover the screen that you guys see, so that's why I'm like going back and forth here. Okay, so that you guys can see that whole screen, right? All right. Somebody check to see if that actually is working, that link, because the other one didn't work. So if you can use your phone to like see if that works, that link works. Yes, it works. Perfect. That opens up my calendar, and the sooner you do this, the sooner we'll be able to talk. I'm actually heading out of town this weekend, and so I'm like trying to open up as many call times as I possibly can. So the longer you wait, the later it'll be, probably into next week, that we'll be able to talk. So this is not, I mean, I hope that you got from me, like, I am not high pressure sales. Like, I want to have like a real actual conversation about you with your business. And if it's something that makes sense for us to work together, I'll tell you how. And if not, you'll still walk away with the plan. Either way, you'll, get some value out of that. Oops. Okay. So somebody look on this to see if this link worked. Because that is the one that was the toolkit that I showed you from before. So it's the AI Event Finder prompt. Yes, Antoinette. I have clients who are brand new, who haven't even done any events yet. And it's great because you don't have to sort of stumble your way through everything. So the toolkit has the AI Event Finder prompt. Cheryl, did that mean yes, it works?
It didn't work for me. I got a 404 page not found error.
Oh, crud. Okay. Okay, give me a second, you guys. Okay. And you'll get that sales script, and then the cost of doing business calendar, or calculator. Let me let me finish going through my little slides here. Okay. Then I started a brand new Facebook community. So are any of you, are some of you in the women's group?
Yes.
Awesome. Cool. Okay. So you have that group. This group I created specifically for this stuff so that I can be giving you tips and things like that. And actually, I have something else that I've been working on all weekend to kind of launch, like almost like a monthly membership type thing where you have, little tidbits of all this stuff. So I'm going to, and you're going to get that in the email as well. So you'll have a link that has like a link to the community. You'll have the toolkit link, but now I'm nervous that it's not working. Okay. Let me go through my, okay, so questions. Okay, so I'm going to stop the share so that I can find my link, but I want to answer some of the questions that are in here. So I want to go back to Edith. Edith said, where is she? Okay. Do you use a DSLR booth? Yes, I've always used a DSLR. You don't have to. Back when I started, that was the only option. So everybody had to learn how to use a computer, right, Kathy? iPads came probably in a couple years after I started. And so the old guy, like the OGs, we literally had no choice. So if you're in a place where you feel like I'd rather just start with the iPad, do it. Like they've come a long way, and that's a great place to start. Hang on a second. I'm pulling up my thing that has the page to the toolkit. Oh, I must have edited it because there it is. Okay. And then Yana, I answered your question. Yes, like new is just fine. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so that link should work, you guys. What else? What other questions do you guys have for me? Don't be shy. You can come off mute.
Well, I did like those email examples.
Okay.
I know that I've been in the business for many years, but it's not like, and those examples that you gave of the emails to send to customers, I have a problem with that. Like, every time,
Like it's hard to know what to say. Is that what you mean? Yeah.
like, when you're trying to follow up, hey, that those emails were good.
And the thing, okay, so back when I said I had two little kids, and I mean, like literally babies, and I was like, oh, I need to have a CRM because now I have this baby. I don't know how to, I don't want to have to respond to all these people. The reason I never got one is because I didn't want to have to be the person to write out all those emails. It was like, I don't know what to say. I don't know how far, like, when do you ask them about the backdrop? When do you ask them about the template? Is that in one email or is that in two emails? Like, and that's, if anybody has to run, I totally understand. But if you guys, I will talk about the CRM kind of thing that I was mentioning before if you guys want to stick around. But so let me just say this first. If you do not want to stick around, thank you so much for being here with me for the last hour and a half. You guys are amazing. I appreciate you being engaging and asking questions and all of this. This was so great. I'm sending you a replay of this. So as soon as we hang up, as after it uploads, I'll have that. And so you'll get something that has, oh, good, Aja, the thing works. So you'll have the link to the toolkit. You'll have the link to the new Facebook group. There's literally 3 people in it at this point, so don't be alarmed. We will fill it, okay? And so you'll get access to that, and I'll have more of this stuff in there. And I kind of feel like I'd like to do a next level, like the next class after this one that would kind of go into a few more things, which I'm gonna do soon. But so have that. So if you have to go. Thank you for being here. If you can stay a few more minutes, I was going to tell you a little bit more about the CRM thing. So basically, Yana, what is your question?
Hi, so sorry.
You're okay.
I have to go, but I wanted to know, you said something about a one-on-one and a link, but I didn't see it, and I'm not sure how to connect with you.
Yes. Let me get that. Yes. Just one sec.
Thank you.
I should have had that in the chat too. Let me grab that.
Yeah, the other link worked. I'm not sure
Okay,
about that.
perfect.
Yeah.
Calendars. Share calendar. Okay, so I'm going to put that in the chat right now.
Thank you so much. And I really want to hear about the CRM especially, but this will be in a recording you said because I do have to jump off
Yes, ma'am.
to shower
Yes.
my daughter. Okay, all right.
Yeah,
Thank
and
you so much.
Antoinette, yes, there will be options after this weekend. And you guys, my email, I'm going to put you my email too in here. Well, you'll get it um in a little bit, or the emails that I've been sending you this week. You'll get those too. So if there's any problem like booking anything, just let me know. I can find a place. I have my regular calendar of clients and my family and all the things that I've got. And so it's like going to only fill in where there's gaps. And so if there's, I can figure out a way to find more times. So that's fine. But thank you. Thank you for asking that and putting that in. But you have to go to your daughter.
Thank you so much.
But
I
yeah,
really
thank
appreciate
you.
you. This
Yeah.
was so helpful.
Good.
Thank you very much. Thank
Good,
you.
good, good. Okay, awesome.
Bye-bye.
So, yeah, so talking about the CRM. So, like I said, I had started with Boothbook. Not that there's anything, and it was like I didn't know what to say to these emails. And then I tried Check Cherry. I mean, like they're all so there was just so much, right? Because they weren't built out for me. And then when I started working with clients, I was like, okay, well, does your CRM this? No, it doesn't do that. Does it do this? No, it doesn't do that. Does it do that? And so then I realized a lot of these CRMs, again, maybe it's because I'm having these higher expectations, but they don't do all the things. And so I'm literally building right now. In fact, I could probably even offer it soon, like within the next week or so. But where it has like the automations for all of the emails, like for leads, for bookings, for outreach, like say to those, those corporate events that are coming up, for planned outreach for all of these places, for, for clients that you've worked with before, monthly emails that are going out at Christmas and Halloween and New Year's, months ahead of those, so that they're automated. So you're not thinking, oh crap, it's December. I guess I should have called some people and got some holiday events, but I forgot because my life is busy. All these things that are all set up. It does social media management. So when I was talking before, thanks you guys, whoever, everybody has to go. Thank you. Thank you. The social media management. You can manage all of your social media in the same place. TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, all of them with like one click. Let's see, what else does it do? What else does it have? Those are the two biggies. What else? You can manage all of your clients and like how like in say Check Cherry or 17 Hats, where it's like you have all your contacts, but they're all leads, right? And they're kind of like filling up your whole page. Well, these are like more like smart lists. And so you've got the leads, and then you've got the bookings, and then you've got like, say, the corporate clients, and then you've got the, whatever clients. And what I've been working with my clients this couple last weeks is think about the fact that you get hired for a wedding from one client, but then you get there and there's 100 guests there. If you're not talking to them and working on them to get leads, to be able to get reviews, like you are leaving so much money and reviews on the table by not connecting with them. And so, like I have automations and everything set up for that through phone and email and all that stuff. So it's all sort of in the works. So if that's something that, and so for the women, I was going to offer it at like $47. Yes. So a month that would have all those things. I'm going to push it out to the photo booth world at PBX in February, and it wouldn't be any cheaper than 100 at that point. And so yeah, so if you guys are interested, like if you like say get the emails from me, maybe message me back and be like, hey, can you tell me a little bit more about the CRM, and we can talk about that. But then I can just kind of have a little list going of people to chat about to it, because I could
So it has Julian, I'm sorry to interrupt. So it has letters, because I've never used a CRM.
Yeah, it has everything already set up.
So you can set up to go to your platforms.
Yeah.
Your platforms.
Your social media accounts and everything. Yeah.
And
Oh my gosh, it's so easy. And the thing is like you don't have to have a virtual assistant that knows any of your passwords because she would have her own login. And so she could be posting for you from in there. So it's not jeopardizing. Like I got locked out of my account yesterday and it took me hours to get back in. And it's like if you have any sort of something like that can like mess you up for days. I was freaking out because I thought it would affect this call tonight. Uh but yeah, I mean there's so much. I need to kind of yes, I need to do a class. It's so it's very robust, but I'm also like figuring out a way to offer like support to have someone put in your logo to make sure that like the emails look like templates so that they come from you, like all those sorts of things that are the more little complicated pieces to it all. So I just need to feel like I need to get like a little more like clarity around that. Yes, Wendy's using it. Joycelyn that's on the call, she uses 17 Hats and has had it for forever. So what she's going to do is you keep 17 Hats because she's already set up all the email automations, but she's going to use this for, say, the marketing aspect of things. So reaching out to new clients, doing all the social media marketing and all that kind of thing. So yes, I do not want to keep you guys any longer, but does anybody have any last minute questions that came up? Anything? No. Going once, going twice. You guys were
Yes. Sorry.
yes,
I
ma'am.
was putting it in
She's
the
like going
chat.
twice. You'd be
Yeah.
fun at an auction.
Yes, ma'am. So I was wondering, like, when you talk to the guests of your clients, say if you're at a wedding, would you offer them something special, like a discount or
Yes.
something to get them to sign up? Like, hey, if you sign up, I'll knock 20% off or something.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, oh, Wendy, should we show them the inside of this thing?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to share my calendar, or I'm going to share my, actually, hang on, I got to log in first. Yes, yes, and yes. So basically, this is how we have it set up. Because right now everyone is sharing via text message, right? Nobody wants to put in their email. Everybody wants to put in their hang on, crap, I lost you guys. Hang on, I gotta find my screen. Everyone wants to put in their phone number, right? So how it would work, like how this is kind of like the workflow that we have set up right now. So basically, you'd come home from your event, you would you'd come home for an event, you would import your list, right, of all the guests from that wedding. So, of the wedding, let's say. And they would start on this automation. And so this automation would look similar to, don't freak out when you see this because it looks a little scary. Guests SMS review request. So you've come home, you have tagged them, guest phone added, right? I mean, that's kind of a lame thing, right? Then you're going to send them this text. It says, "Hey friend, thanks for stopping by the photo booth tonight." I mean, like you could have it say anything you want. If it means so much if you left us a review and we have a $100 gift waiting for you to say thanks. It doesn't have to be $100. It could be 50, it could be whatever. So that's the text they get. Then this is when they click the link. They're going to click a link. And it's going to look like this, but with your logo. How was your photo booth experience? We'd love to hear more. We have a $100 gift waiting on the other side. Name, first name, last name, email. Now you have their contact information. So now they're a lead. Okay. So I'm going to put mine in so you can see all this. Click here. You click the button. It goes straight to your Google reviews page. Like this literally took like 15 seconds, right? Okay, so then they've now they've submitted it, and now you've sent them an email. And it's such a pretty email too. Email capture. So they clicked that link on their phone. That's what pulled up, and now they've submitted a form. That was the trigger. and now you've added them as a tag that says event guest. So now you know who your clients were and who are these guests. So you have all these names in here, but they all have tags so that you know who is a client, who wasn't a client, but these are guests. And I would have another tag that says $100 off or something like that. And then they have this email, this very pretty email. Please ignore the HTML on the left because it's a little scary looking. So I'm just going to pull this up. So again, it's got your logo. Here's your gift. Thank you for taking a moment to share your experience. It truly means the world. As promised, here's a gift for $100 off your next event. And then this is what I say: share it, save it, use it whenever you're ready. It never expires. Because who cares, right? Like, who cares if they give it to their friend? Who cares if they give it to their mom or their daughter or whoever that's actually having an event, right? So, I mean, you're sort of like buying reviews. I mean, regardless of what the review is, but it's, like this isn't really any different than spending money on Google ads or Facebook ads or something like that. And these are actually warm contacts, And so they have this, and now that and then book your next event, this is going to take them straight to your, well, shoot, it's not going to, oh yeah, it's going to take it straight to her website. And so that's pretty much what that looks like. That's pretty cool, right? If you go to, you can literally set up, oh, she's even done this. So this is all of her social media stuff, but you can create a post and post it to all of your accounts at once. So let's just say select all. Boom, you've got all of the accounts that all your social media stuff is going to post on. That's pretty
so cool.
Yeah.
I have
So
another question. If you have a CRM from a different business, can you import all those people inside this one to
oh, yeah.
start marketing to them as well?
Yeah, you can do anything. Yeah. So like for this, I like to set things up in smart lists so that I can like divvy out things. So like this was one event she did. This is one event she did, and we just have these separate events. But then also I could look up event guest. Oh no, I guess we should look over here. Event guest. Okay, so these are, I mean, we were just testing this. So like we come up as event guest, right? So you could have something be corporate. You could have tags that say church, that say school event, that whatever. So if you were marketing to say school events, back to school, you could just find all the tags that say school and be like, okay, school. These are all the people that I'm going to reach out to for back to school or something like that. So there's so many things, like for me, like the idea is like number one, automating your life, automating your marketing, automating your, and just like keeping those leads warm and remembering. I mean, honestly, when I started my business, I never kept lists of people. They would call me, ask my price, I'd give them the price and hope they booked, and then I'd hang up on them. I never asked for their phone. I mean, I had my phone number, their phone number and caller ID, but I didn't have their email. I had no information. And I could have done so much more if I would have actually thought about these sorts of things back then. So just trying to protect you from making all the mistakes that I did.
I love it. Thank you.
Yeah. So yes, you guys are so awesome. So, okay. Just want to see if there's anybody else that had any other questions. Yeah, okay, that was you, Aja. Different number. How do you transfer the numbers from your Boost software so fast? Is she still on here? Dicasa. Dicasa. Is she on here still? I can't see. Oh yeah, you're on here still. So you would just download, if you go to like, if you're on Snappic or any of your software, if you just go to the analytics, you can just download the people and then you can go back in here and then upload them. And I always upload them into something that I would remember what it was, like Jenny's wedding or Smith wedding, August 2026 or something like that. Something to make it easy so you remembered who those people were. And then that way, when they do say reach out and they're like, yeah, I have a booking. And it's like, what's your name? Oh, my name's Charlie. Oh, you were at the Smith wedding. Oh my gosh, that was such a fun night. You know what I mean? You have these notes so that you can connect again with them, that you remember me? Of course I remember you. That was such a great night, you know. So just, yeah, just being more, I guess, of a salesperson. So, okay. I have kept you guys for almost 2 hours. So I appreciate everybody that stayed on. This was so great. I appreciate all of you, and I will hopefully connect with you. If you want to make a call with me, I would love it. There's like no pressure. I would just love to learn about you and your business and how else I could assist you. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank
So
you.
thank you again,
Thank you
and
so
I hope
much.
to see you. I hope to see you again soon.
You will. Thank you.
Okay. Bye,
Thank you very
ladies.
much.
Bye.
Okay,
Thank
bye.
you.
Bye.